the best real estate app today on the Brian Murray Show. Welcome to the Brian Murray Show, a real estate show, New Jersey style. And today I'm going to talk to you about the best real estate app that I've found. And by the way, it's from Compass, the company I work for. And I'm not one to promote the company line. You know, I want to give the people who are watching this show the best information possible. And I'll tell you what, that the Compass app is the real deal. And aside from all of the other things that all of the apps do, and Zillow and Realtor.com and all the other competition, I'll tell you one thing that the Compass app does that I think sets it apart from everything else. And it's the thing you need to know the most about, especially if you're a seller. And that's, within the Compass app, you can set up real-time, building by building market analysis. So you don't have to come to me or another agent and go, well, I want to see what the comps are for 1200 Grand Street. Guess what? Within the app, you can set it up so that you can see real-time all of the solds, all of the under contracts, all of the actives, all of the active rentals, and what's been rented. Real time. So, and you can get notified, hey, there's a new home at 1200 grand. Hey, that home just went under contract at 1200 grand. Hey, that home just sold and here's what it sold for at 1200 grand. You can do that building by building. So imagine you have your eye on a particular building or complex because you really like the 2 bedrooms there. You can set it up so that bam, it just comes. It's not a notification, it's not an email, it's literally right there on your app. You can see it real time. As soon as the MLS knows, you know like 10 minutes later. It's an amazing tool if you're a seller and you're trying to track what your home might be worth in today's market. It's a great thing to understand what the competition is in a particular building. And it's a great thing if you're a buyer to understand, hey, not just what's new, but it gives you a picture so you can make some analysis yourself. Look, I have an MBA and I have an engineering degree, so I can put a lot of analysis into any particular search that a buyer or a seller might be looking for in a meaningful way. Most agents can't do that. This allows you to do that yourself. If you're a numbers person, it allows you to do those numbers. If you're a visual person, it comes in a great visual package. I recommend that you check out the Compass app today. Reach out to me for more information. I'll even walk you through how it works. I got trained on the app. It's pretty self-instructive or intuitive, but if you have specific things that you want for the app to accomplish, I'll show you how to do it. This is Brian Murray with today's discussion point on the single best app in real estate. How this week's market stats affect buyers and sellers in Hoboken and Jersey City. This is Brian Murray with the weekly numbers. So let's take a look. Look, the available listings is staying relatively flat. You know, Hoboken 166, Jersey City a little under 200. But the under contracts in the last 30 days, that is really headed downward. 73 in Hoboken, 65 in Jersey City. So there's definitely a fall off in the market. Rising interest rates are playing a big part of this. The ask to sold price, that is a 60-day lagging indicator, so don't worry about it. And the average days on market, you can see that they're still relatively low, but that's for what's under contract. You know, what's very interesting to me is that there's not a lot of backfill. So you'd expect, oh, as soon as the market quote unquote slows down, that there'd be a lot more inventory on the market, and that's not really the case. So what you're seeing is that while there aren't as many homes under contract, there aren't as many homes coming onto the market at the same time. So I'm kind of looking at it as saying, hey, you know, those sellers are concerned about interest rates and maybe that they don't want to put their home on the market when there's all this volatility, or they're a little concerned on the backside. They were buyers for a long time and trying to find something, and maybe they're like saying, well, maybe I shouldn't buy right now, maybe we should just wait it out. It doesn't take a lot of folks to say push their decision off 6 months to a year to see what happens to make the market tight again. Look, if you were a family and you're thinking about going to the suburbs and you're like, you know what, I was planning on an interest rate of 3% to 4%, and now that interest rate is 5 to 6%. Hey, maybe I can't afford as much house. There might be a concern to say, let's let this play out for another year, and maybe those rates will come back down, or the prices will come down, which they won't, but maybe the rates will come down, and we'll be able to afford it again. So let's let it ride for a year. The kids can stay in school for another year, no big deal. And then all of a sudden there's a supply constraint again in the Hoboken, Jersey City market. So these are the weekly market numbers, but look out for that supply constraint starting to appear over the next few months, and we'll keep an eye on that. This is Brian Murray for the weekly market numbers, Hoboken, Jersey City. Pro Realtor Tip. So today's Pro Realtor Tip is about when you're a buyer and you're putting together an offer. Now, don't pressure your agent to explain your offer. In fact, don't have your agent explain the offer at all. Your offer is your offer. If a home is priced at X, $800,000, and your offer is less, and a lot less, you don't have to explain it. The seller doesn't want to hear your explanation. The seller's agent doesn't want to hear the explanation that, oh, well, interest rates have gone up, taxes might be going up, and oh, we feel it's a little dark, or oh, it doesn't face the right way, or X or Y or Z. None of it matters. None of it matters. Your offer is your offer. Now, the only caveat to that is when there's a whole bunch of comps that are at, say, 750 and yours is 8, and they're direct comps. And then, and only then, would I recommend that the agent go to the seller's agent and ask, just trying to understand so I can communicate back to my client, how did you come up with that number? That's the professional way to say, hey, I think you're a little bit out of line with the market, but please tell me what I'm missing. Other than that, the level of excuses for your offer are just putting the seller on the defensive, and you don't want to put the seller on the defensive. They're going to evaluate your offer based on the number and the down payment and whatever other terms, and they're not going to evaluate it on all the things that the buyer considers important, that the taxes went up $600 that year, so that that means we're going to reduce the purchase price by $20,000. That's today's Pro Realtor Tip. Thank you for watching The Brian Murray Show. As always, all episodes of The Brian Murray Show can be found on the blog section of the MurrayPropertyGroup.com website. Go to MurrayPropertyGroup.com/blog for all episodes. You can also find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, and Google My Business. Please leave me a review there if you enjoyed the show. I will try to respond to every comment because I do appreciate them. Share the show. Share the weekly market numbers. They're really important for people out there, especially in today's volatile times, to get some real information about the real time, what's going on. And then, as always, if there's anything that you disagree with in the show, reach out to me directly, and I'll show you why you're wrong. Thanks for watching.